along those lines. I will tell you what attribute to roll, and then depending on what that action is, you can justify like, hey, would I know that because I'm a minor, I know computational physics, that I would be able to hack this panel, or I would be able to override this function or whatever.
Yeah. I figured.
And depending on the interpretation, I would say yes or no, and you get a bonus to that. And on the character sheet I posted, don't really pay attention to your skill profile a little bit. Like, pay attention to the skills on it, but not necessarily the percentile, because I don't know what that actually is supposed to mean. I think that's supposed to like be like a bonus, similar to how like what is it, Pathfinder 2e or something works. That's all I can get out of that, but either way, either way, you get a bonus, and it's like a set bonus. So for example, computers, I think that's 10%. That's 10%. Yes, so computers would be 10%. So you would get, plus your intellect skill, you would get your intellect attribute plus 10%. That would be the number you have to roll equal to or under.
Yeah.
And it's like a game of I think it's a blackjack or 21, where you have to the objective is to reach 21 but not over. And so whoever reaches 21 or gets close enough to 21 wins. That is pretty much how this game runs.
Oh.
Is you are trying to get it so that you get under your number without going over.
Or else you get busted.
Right. So
and we get busted.
Busted, yeah. Blackjack. They say that in blackjack when you go over.
Yeah, you bust.
Yes.
Yeah.
Criticals are devastating in this game.
Hi.
Well, because they're a little bit different from typical fumbles. Like in D&D, it's like you roll a 1 and it's that's a fumble and that's it.
Yeah.
Or in other games it'll be, or like in RuneQuest or Cthulhu, if you roll like a 96, that's a fumble. Or 100, that's a fumble. That's not how it works in this game. In this game, if you have a double, which means if you have a 66, for example, or a 77 or 44 or something along that lines,
right,
that is a double, and that's considered a critical. However, depending on if you went over or under your number, that will determine if it's a critical success or a critical failure. So if you have to roll under a 45 and you get a 44, that is a critical success. However, if you roll a 55, that is a critical failure.
Right, I see.
And a whole bad storm could happen depending on that critical failure or success.
Yeah, okay.
I sort of get it, so I'll just have to go along and see how it goes. These mechanics are still obscure to me in general because I haven't really done a lot of different games yet. So
this is the first time I've ever running this game, and this is like the play test. Like this, like you have to be an experienced DM sort of thing. So I'm gonna be flying by the seat of my pants for most of this.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions about the system?
Not yet,
I wouldn't.
but
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to ask without having some experience in it. I thought I had played this before, but it was like a board game. It's not the same thing that I had played before.
Ah.
Well, there are many motherships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many motherships, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. Either way, so does everyone want to introduce their characters and how they come to know each other? So to kind of give a background, you guys are basically the crew of a small, not necessarily a research vessel, but it's a like a converted mining frigate that you are using as a research vessel, as you are all under the not necessarily tutelage, but rather the funding of a company that I am going to call Moorbacker and Blacksmith.
Okay.
Moorbacker and Blacksmith Mining Incorporated.
All right. Yeah, sure. My name's Rainer Wright, and you guys probably know me as the scoundrel of the group. I'm always covering my face because I don't want people to know who I am. I know people are there's cameras all over the place, and I just feel safer covering my face, and whenever I'm off duty, you'll find me just in my quarters, away from the other people. Kind of a loner that way. That's it. I do actually have a bandana. Here, maybe I'll put it on.
That's important. Gotta get into your character. I can't see your bandana.
Sorry, what's your character's name, Raven?
Rainer Wright.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hey, so anybody else?
Yep.
Hello. I'm Sylvia Hatch, as you all know. I am the ship's psychologist. Yes. If you have any issues, you can definitely come to see me. Yes. Well. If you need anything at all, I'm fluent in both psychology. I also know a little biology and chemistry, and I have studied linguistics as well. Do you mean to have your shirt tucked out there, Raina? You might want to tuck that in. Yes, tuck the shirt.
I'm not
tuck
talking
it in.
anything. Yeah.
Do you know? Well, okay. Yes. So, anyway, that is who I am. Yes.
Amy. All right. I'm just writing down notes so I can keep track of who's who.
I've started shuffling a deck of cards.
My kitty is typing. Stop typing, kitty.
Oh my god. That's a lot of that's a lot of symbols and junk.
Thank you, Kitty, because I am going to steal. No, give me
Give
that
you
back.
love the keyboard. Oh.
I think I got, was it 588766? I'm going to use that to figure out a planet code.
Oh, okay. Kitty has determined.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, Mouser,
Who's
would
next?
you like to go?
Okay. Sure. Well, hello everyone. My name is Sam Strigus, and you may call me Dr. Strigus if you wish, but I'm not that formal person. I am a physicist, so my specialities concern matter and space. I also have many other side interests, including biology. So, yes, I'm happy to be on this mission. And I don't know. Hopefully, you will all find. Well, hopefully, we will all find that as a team, our companionship and our skills will benefit our mission greatly.
So
All right. Right.
we've got one more, right?
And finally, yep, Candy.
If I talk like this, can you guys hear me, or is there echo?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, it sounds like you're a little far away, but we hear you clearly.
Okay, how's this?
Can you? What are you doing?
You sound good.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, you have your own.
you don't want to talk again. Okay. Sorry. Okay, Pinky Cortez over here. I'm here to make sure that I'm gonna cover everything. Sickness, aliens, anything like that, I got you. I'm going to study it, I'm going to learn it, I'm going to become it. I am it. I am the virus. We're gonna survive this and we're gonna do this right.
You sound
Yes.
like you're the scholar of the group.
No.
No, you when you say you're gonna learn about the aliens, what do you mean?
I just find it hilarious that everyone rolled scientists except Raven. So
I kept rolling until I got a
basically, yeah.
teamster.
Yeah, you effectively got like you're like the grunt of the group. You're
Yeah,
just the
exactly.
only one.
That's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to be the like the actual one of the actual miners. You know? So there's a lot of scientists here, so I guess we're not necessarily doing a like large scale mining. What we're doing is like probably some research or whatever.
Yeah,
Well,
you guys.
what,
Yeah, basically, your kind of job is twofold. The first half is you're transporting from, I guess, Tau 17, the planet Tau 17. You're transporting mining materials, like for example ores, various chemicals, etc. You're basically transporting them on your way to another station that is a few systems away.
Okay.
And
All right.
and this is kind of a job that was given to you guys by Moorbacker and Blacksmith Mining Incorporated, but they also wanted you guys to stop at the mining colony, not the mining colony, but the mining station known as Ypsilon 14. Ypsilon, spell out if you need to know what it spells like, is spelled Ypsilon 14.
Okay.
So they are requesting more materials as well. Their commander, known as Sonia, you kind of heard of her through kind of a small talk in not necessarily the office, but rather just kind of like stories of through the other miners and her and kind of rumors of that place, of that mining satellite, as she's known as like this kind of not necessarily headstrong, but she's a very assertive, hardworking team leader, known for like trying to get everyone to work together and like let's do this team sort of kind of thing.
One of those people that believes in synergy.
Yeah, synergy is the very much
Good
whole
word.
synergetic concept.
She sounds like a good leader, honestly.
By the way, the mic is over computer. It's on the computer.
And
So if you want to be closer, speaking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just yeah.
I'm terribly sorry, but have any of you heard from James?
Yes.
I was certain he was going to be here as well. But
Yes, I wondered about that.
Yeah.
I don't see
He
him.
he did roll two characters.
Present of late.
Yes, he might be our one combat specialist. No.
Yeah, he's probably cleaning his guns in his bunk.
Oh bother.
Yes, very likely.
Well, perhaps I will use my short-range communication device here in my hands, and I will send him a little message. Seeing if you will be joining us.
That's a pretty good marina service voice you got going on there.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that greatly.
Marina service?
Yeah, she plays Counselor Troy on TNG.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm convinced she's the most useless character in Star Trek.
Yeah, well, I wasn't taking it that far, but I just meant the voice, you know?
Yeah, I mean the character itself is just like,
Yeah.
oh, someone's obviously angry. Someone's obviously angry in front of her, and she says, "Oh, I sense you're angry." And that's like her role.
Yeah. Well, you know, they already have a perfectly good counselor in the form of a bartender, right?
Yeah,
So
that's right.
You know,
I guess
that
one couldn't be there all the time.
Tired of listening to people.
all right. So they kind of from reports from company reports from her, there's been not necessarily a lot of strange bizarre happenings, but rather she reported that one of her teammates known as Mike, he's a mining engineer on the station, and he was acting strangely as nothing as she explained that he seemed not his she just said not his normal self is in the reports, and
Right.
that she was going to have a discussion with him on his behavior, and since their most recent report and as well as their resident scientist, Dr. Ethan Giovanni, they have not heard a communication from Ethan Giovanni, and so they are basically saying, hey, while you're passing through and the company's saying, hey, while you're passing through this sector, please go and check on, drop off some equipment at Ypsilon 14 and check up on them to make sure they're doing all right.
All right, and they're not on Ypsilon 14. That's what our orders say.
Yeah, your orders are saying go to Ypsilon 14.
Yeah.
Check to make sure everyone's okay.
Okay, and the Ethan Giovanni, that was like a separate sort of side order or something.
He's at Dr. Ethan Giovanni is on Ypsilon 14. He was sent there from where you are about a month ago. As you're approaching the station, he was sent there about a month ago.
Okay. Check on him.
This is the one that disappeared, not the one that's acting strange.
Yeah, that's right.
Mike
is acting strangely.
Mike was acting strangely, and Dr. Ethan Giovanni has not submitted a report.
All right.
Has not submitted a report on what he was sent there for, which they never revealed to you. But what they did reveal was that he has not given a report in I think 2 weeks should be about a good amount of time.
Right.
About 2 weeks, and so they want you, and since you were in the area, they want you to go there and check up and say, hey, you haven't submitted a report. What the heck?
Okay. No problem.
So you are on the mining frigate known as the Falstaff, if you want to know the name. But I can spell it out for you in the chat. Staff, there you go.
Nice.
And and you hear a comm channel open up as a hailing signal is sent, and it asks if you would like to receive the signal. Your ship's captain, who I am who I am going to say is his name is Captain Indigo Sanchez.
Yeah. Okay.
A very gruff party man. He asks, I'm going to say he is going to ask Sylvie if considering she is the psychologist and the most, I guess, not necessarily mentally sound, but rather the most educated of the bunch, and what he can appoint as the team leader, as would you like to take this call? Would you like to the station is trying to hail us, and Sonia is asking for boarding codes.
Sylvie, do you want to take this one? That's Amy. Are you there, Amy?
I'm sorry. Say again. Yeah, I'm here. I didn't. You want me to send boarding codes? As the ship's psychologist, I'm usually not privy to that information, but I see them written right here. Certainly. Hello. Yes. This is Sylvie Hatch. I'm the ship's counselor. Pleasure to meet you. Yes. You wanted to board. Yes. The boarding code is well, it looks like here Alpha 3641 Beta. Yes. Yes, that's what's written here. Yes.
You hear the comm crackle to life as the captain sort of transfers the comm over to you, as the voice comes over, and she goes, hello, yes, hello, Sylvie, Dr. Sylvie Hatch, this is Sonia. I have confirmed your boarding and docking code. Welcome to Ypsilon 14.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, quite
Very much the same. Very much the same. We've been looking for our supplies for she and you can actually sense kind of a pause as she looks down at like a watch, as she goes, about a month from now, about a month, maybe a few weeks.
Oh well, better late than never, I guess. I guess we shall get those off to you immediately. Yes.
Very much so. You will be docking at Docking Bay 2.
Docking Bay 2. Yeah, very well. I'm sure someone here knows what to do with that information. I will make sure they get that.
One of the attendants is actually like working on writing down the Docking Bay 2, and the pilot, whose name is whose name on the ship is as Speedy.
Yep.
Speedy basically takes the ship and just sort of guides it in using his brilliant piloting skills.
Yeah. Nice.
Quite perfect.
As he just barely squeezes this large little frigate in its docking station. The boarding go ahead.
This guy's saved our life more than a few times. I love watching him at work. Slides in so smoothly.
So
Speedy just kind of looks back and he's like, "Hey, it's a genius. It's genius at work, my friend."
Yeah.
And you can kind of see like it looks it on his flight jacket. You can see like a patch that's like that looks like an F-16 flying around a sun.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
And he's as he's
Dr. Sylvia Hatch will take out a pocket notebook, flip through, find Speedy's page, and starts to make notes. Delusions of grandeur.
nice.
Yeah, and I've got a patch too. There's a pinup girl on it with an Ace of Spades background. I guess I chose a good like a good accessory. The deck of cards.
Yeah, scoundrel, sort of like that, like Han Solo
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what happens is after your ship docks with it kind of a soft jolt as the couplings attach together and interlock. You hear it successfully interlock and give the green light as to say that it is safe to board and at no risk of decompression. So you are now allowed onto the station.
Nice.
So Sonia and when you head over to where the airlock is, I assume everyone's probably wearing vac suits, but
Yeah, I've got my vac suit.
Oh yes, I have one.
The airlock opens up and there's air because of the ship and the mining station having their own oxygen supply.
Mm-hmm.
They're both attached together, and Sonia comes out, and she's not and what she looks like is has blonde hair, brown eyes, very much kind of that what you would picture in like on like a company poster of like the ideal worker.
Right.
She's wearing a full mining vac suit. She's wearing her full mining vac suit, even though she probably doesn't need it at the moment. And she's kind of got it like so that the arms are kind of tied around her waist, which is not typically recommended. But it functions like a giant sort of suit in terms of working in the mining station. He's like, and she goes, "Hi." He says, "Welcome, y'all. Welcome to Ypsilon 14. My name's Sonia. Pleasure seeing you."
I've got my vac suit on, but I take off my helmet because I can see that she doesn't have her helmet on, just in case anything goes wrong. And I take off the strap and pull off the helmet, and I shake her hand with like a slap, and say, "Hey, it's good to be here. Finally back at a mining station."
Well, you always get used to this place, and it makes it feel like a second home. Am I right?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
she shakes his hand and then pats him twice on the shoulder, and he goes, "You got the drills and the ore. We got you some ore for that you can carry on to Epsilon 13."
Is that where you're extracting the ore from?
Nah, Ypsilon. We're on Ypsilon. And out of character, we're on Ypsilon 14.
Yeah.
Epsilon. She's saying taking it to Epsilon.
Oh, I see.
13.
Right. I see.
Hey, while we're out of character, I do have a question that I just remembered looking at the thing. What's the patch thing mean?
Okay, so the really weird thing, but the kind of cool aspect of patches and trinkets and such is that they're supposed to define your character and give you a picture instead of like in D&D or in a lot of typical RPGs where you just roll and it's like, oh, this is your personality, and
Right.
this is how your character acts in this given situation. In this given situation, they have these bonds or these, whatever. Instead of all that, it Mothership coils it down to a patch and a trinket, and so
Right.
depending on that.
I understand what the trinket is. I think, but the patch, I'm not sure about.
Patch
Should I
is
just?
supposed to, the patch is supposed to be sort of emblematic of your character in a weird way. That's why I kind of described the patch of Speedy as being like an Air Force, as like a sort of Air Force patch where you have like a sun
Yeah.
with an F-16 going around it. As I wanted to make him similar to that archetype of a fighter pilot, of that kind of cocky sort of Top Gun attitude
Yeah.
that he
All
had.
right. I get you. So I don't actually know what my patch actually means. That was auto-generated for me, so I don't know if I want to use it or not. But because it doesn't matter at this point.
Your patch is dice, snake eyes.
What's that?
Your patch are dice, and it says it's snake eyes, like 1/1. So you probably have 2 dice.
Yeah.
That's what it says for your patch of your character.
It's like snake eyes.
Yeah.
Are you a gambler then?
Hey, now. What's that, Ruben?
Are you a gambler then?
I guess so. I mean, I snake eyes it says dice, and then yeah, it's like snake eyes. So I guess I'm a gambler. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
we'd
guess
probably
that's my secret vice.
we'd probably be playing cards all the time then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm interested in the law of probabilities, right? So
Yes, that's right.
yeah, it's all right. That's cool. Back in character then. Thanks.
All right. So with that out of the way, what happens is as the captain sends his work hands to start moving and shifting things around, and moving the ores that they have gathered in giant like sealed crates, and moving in mining equipment such as like more replacement drill bits, replacement drills, fuel for the generators, new air filters, etc. She leads you into, and she's like, "Come on, follow me. I'll since she's kind of gotten a little bit chummy with Rainer, right?
Yeah.
She's like, "Come on, let me show you around the station."
Yeah. All right.
Let me show you around the station.
All right. Let's go.
She kind of happily leads you around the station. So she takes you from the air. You guys are currently in what they call the workspace. What it looks like is you hear this, like your work boots clang and echo against the rock and metal grating that's around the area, but a lot of the working gear is stored in like giant, like what looks like cubbies and lockers. Everything from overalls, flashlights, short range radios, handheld mining tools.
Right.
And in these different cubbies, there's about like 10 sets of each. And besides the fact that and there's also a bunch of set of hooks, then there's of course 10 spaces, and 2 of them are missing. And what looks like 2 of them are missing. One of them is on Sonia.
Right.
And she explains that she was actually down in the mine shaft, actually working on a few on gathering some more, just doing some final readings down in the mine shaft.
Right. All right.
But
so what's you got someone down there right now? I see there's a suit missing.
That's supposed to be Mike's suit, and she actually points out to each of them that each one has like a name tag, even on hers.
Yeah.
And the only one that's missing, Mike.
Right.
Like strange one.
And she's like, well, here's the other thing. We also do a lot of checkups on a lot of the tools that are around here. one of the tools around here is a laser cutter.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Is one of our laser cutters. We usually do a lockout, like a lockout on all of our equipment before we turn over and do our shifts.
Right.
So,
yeah. Makes sense.
And she's like, yeah. Down here, and she kind of points down to this cramped, sort of blocky corridor, and she's like, "That over there is where our quarters are," and then she gestures over to another craggle of corner, and it's kind of like this kind of area is kind of like a hollowed out cave with like air being pumped in, but
Okay.
and in the area that you are in, there's like a small like tunnel, and she takes you down this little tunnel, and she kind of gestures down to it. Down at the end of this tunnel is a small little generator, and he's like, that is where our our power is, and over here right next to where and close to where I let you guys in. And she points to actually in the middle of this corridor, there's actually a terminal. And she says, "This is where I actually let you guys in at." And she kind of gives it a few hits on it. But, but she's like, this good old thing is kind of shit, but it's pretty good.
It looks like it's held together with duct tape and spit.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's definitely like dirtier and just covered in dust and grime. You can tell. And she actually gives a sort of gesture as she points down, as she kind of leads you down the cramped hallway a bit more, and then sharply turns left into what looks like a giant like yawning pit. And above this yawning pit is like a drill. It's going straight down, and you can hear it just churning and moving down there, and watching as ore and rock is being. You can hear it as it's being pumped through the drill. It's like this, and she's yelling, and she's physically yelling it over the sound. As she
it's
says,
gonna be loud.
This is where we mine the ore. Down, takes us 10 minutes to down the shaft, and she points behind it to where the mine shaft is. It takes us 10 minutes to get down from the mine shaft. It takes 10 minutes to get down to where we are at.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. 10 minutes? You're not super deep, or do you have an elevator or something?
It's an elevator.
Right, yeah.
It takes us a 10-minute elevator ride to get down there. And she kind of laughs.
Yeah.
and she's
so it looks like you're moving through a drilling phase. Is there somebody down there while you're drilling?
Typically, yeah. Typically, we have someone monitor the drill. And we have two people that monitor the drill, and then we have one that's directing them. Usually, Dana and Jerome are the ones that Dana's up here, and she points, and Dana, who is this kind of very much this red-haired, stoic, strong woman that you can just look at seeing her. She's working on the drill, and she's like fiddling with like this small little panel that's on the drill,
right,
and moving a few things to help either guide or guide it.
Yeah. It seems like she's operating it from the top there.
And she goes, Jerome is down there. He's just guiding the drill to make sure that she's hitting, that it's not breaking near the drill bit. Rosa, and she kind of sighs and turns her head away. Rosa's probably in her bunk.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a cool operation you got here. You got a lot of ore. I saw you guys already loading it on and everything. You got a lot of ore. That's good. We'll make sure What you were talking about, Mike? Over
Yeah,
over
yeah,
the file you sent us?
yeah. So our and she's thinks about it for a second. So she's like, Mike is one of our mining engineers, like Rosa. They work together in order to be able to plan out mine shafts and basically take surveys of what's dangerous and what's safe for us to go and do our business, you know?
Yeah.
Well, ever since for a little bit, Mike has been acting strangely for the past few days. He's I would like to joke I would like to joke about a few things, but he was acting very strange like he
Yeah.
wouldn't
How do you mean?
paranoid. Very paranoid. One day we just came and found that he had left. He took one of the vac suits and one of the laser cutters. In fact, that laser cutter hasn't been returned to us since. And she's actually leading you. Okay, she's kind of walking and talking as she gestures to lead you. And she's like, "Come on, I'll help. If you want to ask the other crew, I'll help you meet them. You won't be able to meet Jerome and Rosa. Jerome and Dana. They're working right now. Rosa's probably in her bunk with BA. And Morgan's helping your crew."
Right.
You said here that Michael was acting strangely before, perhaps a little paranoid. I think you said. Is this unusual for him? Is he a paranoid type person?
Well, no, he's not a very paranoid kind of person.
Have there been any changes in environment or in his social habits that might have led to some change in behavior?
Not that I can think of. No. She kind of sits there and kind of thumbs her chin a little bit. She's like, I can't think of anything. He just one day he just seemed very more paranoid. He just seemed started to feel very paranoid, very much off, if you want to put it that way.
Well,
She said
his social behavior didn't change, but I was wondering if anything specific. If the paranoia seemed to center around any one specific thing or idea, or if it's just a very general sense of unease that you think he has.
she thought about it for a second a bit more, and she's like, well, he did smash up the shower, I think. You can't pin it up to him, but just let me show you. And she leads you. She does. She leads you.
You don't have a shower? I was looking forward to a shower.
Yeah, she leads you into what looks like this small corridor with like 5 small rooms on the side of this corridor. And if you look inside, each of the rooms is like a very simple bunk. It's like a simple bunk and not much else. Like a simple bunk and a desk. It's pretty much it. You can assume that these are the crew's quarters, and you can kind of notice that some of them are kind of relaxing and talking in the rooms. Others are just kind of thumbing or blowing or just kind of relaxing. One of them was even like blowing his nose with a tissue.
Yeah.
But otherwise, most people are just kind of mingling and interacting.
Okay.
And so Sonia takes you into the washroom. And she gestures over, and it's a series of like showers and toilets and a series of cubicles. And what you notice is she points it out, and she says, "Yeah, this is it," and it's a shower. It's one of those cubicles is like got like tape over it saying "out of order," and if you look inside of it, and she said according to Mike, he said he accidentally broke it, but if you look in there, yeah, it's not really
Yeah, that looks like
that
someone
it's
took
not,
a hammer to that.
yeah, they completely wrecked it up the wall. It's there's several missing tiles all over the wall, and the shower head is bent and damaged beyond belief. But it is but it was just absolutely wrecked, and you can actually hear like a clunk, like something clunking along in the corner, and just kind of like looking at it, it looks like just kind of like a filter for the steam,
Right.
so that it
like
it's
cleans
kind
it.
of like this. Yeah, it cleans the air, so it's like so it doesn't like set off anything like fire alarms or whatever, so that it doesn't fog out vision or cause accidents,
Right.
things
Cool.
of that nature. You're a miner. You don't want to be in in a sauna. So
Yeah, exactly. Needs the air is definitely a commodity, something precious.
definitely.
And this isn't just regular space sickness, is it? Because I guess you wouldn't be you wouldn't be wondering about it if it was just generalized space sickness.
Well, yeah, if it was space sickness, which I've kind of seen before. Miss Earth, they have a general depression about them, and sometimes they may have an outburst or two. But this was way too quick. This was way
Right.
too quick of a turn, and not only that, but it was so almost like a bipolar. It was like almost like a bipolar explosion, is what she describes it as.
Right.
Is
Jeez. All right, and you don't know where he is. He's disappeared somewhere. All right, go ahead, Jam.
Oh, well, I was simply wondering if there was anything specific about this one, or perhaps, I don't know, perhaps we should test his theory and sample whatever's coming out of the shower. That seems an awfully specific sort of paranoia, which is what I was wondering about. We could certainly analyze whatever water is coming out of there for microorganisms and stuff.
Yeah, some parasite maybe.
Or chemicals.
But then wouldn't they all have it? Let's test the water.
okay.
Yes, perhaps, well, why don't I stand over here? I don't want to get wet.
Yeah, I drop one of my cards onto the ground there, and it's like there's like a little bit of a puddle there, so it gets wet. But I just like shuffle it back into my deck, and now my whole deck is wet.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So you're gonna take the card. You're gonna take the card back to your ship to study it.
Yeah.
See if it's something.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
for sure. That's my petri dish. I'm not so much of an egghead.
All right. So what I'm gonna need.
Oh, sorry, we have enough eggheads here.
Yeah, that's right.
So what I need you to do is I need you to make an intelligence check.
Oh, me? Okay. So it's intellect. I've got a 32. And nothing necessarily that would help me in my skills. Okay, so I gotta roll and get below a 32, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. That is a 63. One failed intelligence check.
So you take a look at the water, and you start studying it. you see algae, you see various forms of like microbes and such, but nothing stands out. Nothing stands out to you as like, oh, this is abnormal, and you just kind of feel that you can't make heads or tails. You can't make heads or tails of the analysis
Yeah.
as.
Yeah, I'll leave the card there. And I assume this is like a bit later when we get back or whatever.
This is in your this is on your ship. So
Yeah,
you're just kind of in like your med bay, just kind of
Can I take a look there, Rainer?
Oh yeah, sure. And I move back from the scanner there. I guess it's like a terminal scanner, like and there would be like a sort of a microfiche viewer on it, and that sounds right to me.
Yeah, that sounds right to me too, actually.
Yeah, so I back up from
All
it.
right.
So I don't know if so in my skill profile I have like biology, chemistry, and pathology. So I don't know if that can help.
Well, pathology should, right? Because you're used to looking at this kind of stuff.
Biology would be helpful. Biology would be helpful, but you would only apply one skill at a time. So
Okay. So how does
you
that work in this case? I have like 5% for biology and 5% for and 10% for pathology.
pathology. I don't know what the 10% is for, but the pathology bonus that you get should be. Give me 1 second. I'm finding it here. It should be about 15%, according to the sheet on Mothership. So
it's the same like I roll an intelligence check and
plus
then roll lower
15%.
the plus 15%.
You get added 15% to your roll.
Or would it be minus because you want to get under?
No,
Um.
it would be added because then it would be easier to get under.
Yeah.
Oh, added to your number.
Yeah.
But not to your roll.
Okay, not to my yeah, that makes sense too. Okay, so my intelligence is 46. I rolled a 15, so I make it.
Yeah.
All right, so you don't find anything that would be considered abnormal in this water. Like, it's normal tap water. You looked at everything. You looked at every microbe, every bacteria in there. You checked everything, and it looks perfectly normal. It's a little bit pure, but otherwise it's perfectly fine.
Right. So there's like less pathogens than we would expect.
Yeah, there's less pathogens than you would find in normal water. This is
right. Yeah,
It's filtered
because it's filtered.
filtered water. Yeah. It's filtered water, but since it was sitting on the ground, there's also going to be some amount of bacteria and algae and whatever in it. But it's just less than what would be just less than what would be normal.
Well, then that's not the water. That's not the problem.
No. So, sorry if I missed this, but where is Mike now?
We don't know. I suggested to the company that we should put trackers in our vac suits so that we could be able to locate others in case something like, say, a cave-in were to happen. But the company has yet to respond to my suggestion for safety.
Well, perhaps you need to phrase the request differently and phrase it more in terms of this could help company profits.
True.
But anyway.
Yeah, I feel like Moorback and Blacksmith are like they're a big enough company. They got their analysts. They heard you. They just aren't responding.
That's also true. and she seems to be pretty, not necessarily agreeable, but she pretty much she agrees and listens to her teammates' suggestions, and she's bobbing her head along. She's like, I can see both outcomes. Personally, I feel that although they're taking the situation safe, they're trying to take safety seriously. They're also trying to minimize the amount that they lose by adding trackers.
Yes, yes.
Maybe extraneous
Because they're hurting. Their budgets are hurting so badly, right? Oh,
maybe. I haven't really heard much out in the ways. We don't really get much communication except for the few trade ships that come through our way, or guys like you.
stuff.
She says, and she nods, and she says, anyways, let's take you down the. Anyways, I'm gonna introduce you to the crew, real fast, and then hopefully you guys will be on your way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys
Epsilon 13 are probably going to need these new drill bits.
So,
definitely.
Oh, yes. So you're
And-
now missing. How many staff are missing now in total?
Well, there's Mike, as you all
Right.
know, but we haven't we haven't heard from the geologist that the company sent us, Dr. Giovanni.
Yes.
Like, he was weird. He was very strange in what he was doing. He took a lot of equipment, would go down to our mines and start doing scans, but he would never say what that was. He would simply brush us off, or just kind of go about and do his own business.
See.
Sounds cocky to me.
Well, it sounds like he had his own project going on and was looking for something specific.
Yeah, a lot of scientists lose their humanity to a project, and that might be what's happening here.
I just perhaps maybe we should just be careful of our wording. Maybe many people might take offense to the term of being called weird.
Maybe. Hey, cheap
And
hack.
as she says that, she pushes on the patch of like whoever's standing next to her, and just goes boop.
Yeah.
I think we're all weirdos. It doesn't matter who's sitting next to you.
She kind of gestures to like the different bunks as she kind of goes along, and she's like, "This is my bunk," and you can kind of see that it's got hers written all over it. You can see what looks like a card dangling from her side of her bunk. Boombox, a stack of cassettes. Just kind of like decorated as her room. And you say, this is Ashraf, and she turns, and across the hall she points and says, "This is Ashraf, his bunk." And she's like, and she knocks in there, and this kind of Indian kid, as in like from Asia.
Yeah.
Indian. He kind of gives up the smile. And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yes, Sonia? Oh, we have new visitors, I see." She's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, this is Raynor, Dr. Sylvie Hatch, Dr. Sam Strigas, and
Hey,
Dr.
what's
Cortez.
yeah.
Dr. Cortez." Yeah.
I just kind of wave and go back to tidying up his space. Like I'm stacking all the little cassettes alphabetically in like a very neat.
That's in Sonia's bunk. Ashraf, it has like a bunch of like gachapon toys, just like those I guess those.
He's like an anime nerd.
Yeah, he's got a set of dice, and like he's got a set of dice in like a little case, and he's also got a small little potted cactus that it looks like he takes care of.
I'm taking each little figure and like facing it forward and arranging them by color or height or something, and just yeah, making sure they're exactly on the line. So, but I wave and say hi.
And he gives a wave. He gives a wave back, and he's like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you all. I hope you have a good stay here." He's not just, "Oh, I need to go and I need to give my report. I need to give my report to and he thinks about it for a second to think about her name, and then Sonia says, "Dana." She goes, "Yeah. I need to get her a report. She told me to just to help with breaking apart some of the rock that's down below." And she ends up going off, and he ends up dashing off down
Right.
to where Dana is, to supposedly where Dana is,
Right. Yeah.
and
Well, thanks,
he and Sonia continues, and she gesture, and you kind of pass, and you can kind of see each of their names kind of written above next to their room or on the door with
Right.
various things. Like, you can, like, Dana's bunk is like in a small little kind of small corner with like a religious symbol and a family foot with like a religious like cross on one wall, like kind of
Right.
the Catholic cross.
Yeah.
And on kind of like a little pedestal, you can see a small like family photo that's on it. And you pass by Jerome. Jerome's bunk, and it's kind of this small, like, cute, like, not necessarily childlike, but it's kind of this cute sort of you can tell, like, this playful sort of bedspread as he kind of goes by, and
Right. Yeah.
as you kind of go by it.
He's more quirky.
Yep. And then you pass by Kantaro, and Sonya's like, "This is Kantaro. He is give me 1 second. And Kantaro is our loader. This is Kantaro's bunk. He was our loader. You probably saw him go by and help guys load up our." And as she says that, you can watch as Kantaro kind of the strong, like, muscular, vague Japanese dude. He's like this, like, he looks like a giant sumo wrestler is what he looks like. He looks like very, like, stern-faced,
Right. Yeah.
muscular. He kind of like walks by you. You kind of walk by him, and he gives a sort of nod as he goes by.
Yeah,
Bye.
I'll do the sort of, 2 fingers on the head. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, you notice as you go past him, he smells. He reeks like a minor, like you could probably relate to it, Raynor.
Yeah.
As working the miner's job, you probably are tired enough that you just collapse in the bunk and don't think about it. And just take a warm shower when you can. But this just reeks.
Yeah. Like he doesn't take a shower when he can.
Yeah, it just stinks. And he sits and he gives a wave, and as he sits down on the bunk, he's like, "Yeah, he's a very strong man, very, very helpful when we need things carried from place to place."
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, and she goes over to what looks like Morgan's bunk, and he's like, and goes over to what looks like Morgan's bunk,
Mm-hmm.
as the nameplate suggests. And Morgan's kind of this, what looks like this kind of, he's kind of laying back, And he's kind of laying back, and he's just sort of picking at like what looks like a ration pack in his hand. He's kind of ticking at it. He's like,
Right.
he's
Yeah.
like, and this morning he goes, yo.
Hey.
Yeah, he's just eating. He's like, well, she goes, Morgan, why didn't you help Kentaro loads of? He's like, I did. I just got finished with my tasks quicker. He just sits there and keeps eating and just being.
This guy's just doing the bare minimum.
Yep. In the end.
All right.
And
is that everybody?
it's like, well, we have, and she turns, and she goes, and we have, and then she turns and she looks into Rie's bunker, and she goes, and it's, you can see in the nameplate it says Rie, and she looks in there a little bit,
Yeah.
and she says, Rie, you in there? She actually goes, and she kind of opens up the room, and she goes into it. She looks around. It's like, I don't know where Rie went. I saw her when I was heading out to come get you guys.
Right.
She was in here. It was about wasn't even that long ago.
No, that was like what, half an hour ago?
Yeah, about half an hour ago. She looks around, and you can see that like Rie has her own little like tag or a card, and it's hanging on her lanyard on a lanyard near the door, and on a small little chair next on her desk. And she's like, okay, this is really strange. Usually they'll report when people are heading somewhere. Usually, and she kind of holds up the cards because she's created this sort of small time system for it.
Right. Yeah. Of course she did.
Maybe she checked in with Dana since you were busy.
Could be, but she's usually the putter. She's usually the one that puts down the wiring and the wiring for the laser cutters, as well as putting down electrical wiring for the lights and such down in the mines. I don't think, and not only that, she's not the type to usually go and to check onto people. Like, for example, Dana. Like, for example, Ashop and Dana. She said, gesturing kind of towards the mining shaft.
Right. I'm sure she's around here somewhere. You showed us a couple other chambers,
sure,
right?
I mean, I was about to suggest that I don't know. I mean, 2 people disappearing, that's quite a coincidence. But 3, something strange is going on here. Perhaps we need to make sure that no one on this base is alone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna peek my head into Ashraf's cubby and say, "Hey, do you know where Rie went?"
Ashraf went down to go and talk with Dana.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Now, who is anybody here?
Yeah.
Besides you, Kantaro and Morgan is there,
Okay.
and Rosa.
Oh yeah, Morgan's there, of course.
And Rosa's there as well, and
okay.
you also see that out of Morgan's room is like a little as a cat comes out and gives a small little meow.
Nice.
Oh, indeed, yes. There's a cat. Yeah, this is. What is the cat's moniker?
Oh, him? She kind of and Sonia kind of comes down to it and pets the cat. Name is Kane's is Prince. He's kind of the base's cat. Morgan, despite the fact that we have to, she kind of brushes it off. She goes, it's besides the fact that it's unwelcome for minors like us to have pets along. We kind of adopted him.
Understandable. Companionship is a human desire, and the cats can offer quite fantastic companionship. Yes, I can see why.
Yeah, I know the suits discourage it, but when you're out in space, you know, you gotta have somebody to talk to, even a cat or whatever.
Yes. Yes, this is true.
It avoids the space sickness.
Where did you adopt this cat? Before you got here, or was it here when you got here?
Space cat.
He got it. Suppose Morgan brought it along with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
These things are full of diseases. Nobody should get that close to them.
No,
And I would know.
Morgan's like, don't say that. He's a good kitty. And he actually comes out and he's leaning over and he's scratching the cat's head as the cat just kind of does like a roundabout and heads back into the room.
So Morgan, do you know where Ree went? She was here. Now she's not, apparently.
I thinks about it for a second. He goes, well, I did hear something from her room, kind of like a small, something like that, and I thought she was watching her. Thought she was watching her card again. She kind of squeals about something or other. I don't know.
But she didn't leave?
But sometimes
You didn't see her leave, rather?
Not really, no. I looked out and she hasn't left. This is the first time that he kind of checks in. He's like, Goes back to his room, just kind of like, oh, tell him if you find her. Tell him if you see anything. And he kind of like just gives a wave and he just heads in.
Yeah.
Heads into his room.
I want to check out her bunk, but as a character, I don't think I would. I'm like, I shoot guns and I pilot and do like mechanical repair. I don't have any skills that complements it. I don't think my character would do it.
Okay.
I'm more interested in finding Mike's bunk.
Yeah,
Mike's bunk, and she actually points, and it's across from where Rosa's bunk is. Not Rosa. It's across from where like Rosa's bunk. Yeah, Rosa. It's across from where it's next to Ree's bunk, across from Rosa's, and it's also across from like a small like unused room, and you can see that it's kind of been used as kind of like a lounge or a small like hangout area.
right.
Even having like a small little games console and a portable cassette player on its own. But the Mike's old bunk is just been looks completely cleaned out.
Yeah, this guy was definitely he was planning to go somewhere. He took the vac suit, he took the cutter, he took all his stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in a mine somewhere.
That makes sense.
Yes, but most likely, I can see that. He definitely looks like he was prepared for it.
You think so? I thought they'd try to look for it there, but it doesn't look like he left the station. So I think, let's if you guys want to, we can head down and check. I can show you around the mines.
Would
I
love to
guess
see the
if
mines.
we must,
All
is
right,
it
let's go see
completely
the mine.
necessary?
We might need your help, Dr. Sylvie, if we do end up finding Mike and
I
we
mean,
might need your help to calm them down or something.
okay, if I'm needed, I
Yes.
guess stiff up a lip and all that.
Yes, exactly. You can do it.
That's the spirit.
We're all together.
Let's go save the world, one person at a time.
So, all right.
All right,
So you guys.
I'm gonna make sure that I have my all my stuff with me. I've got my laser cutter, my hand welder, my body cam in case I go missing. I'm gonna make sure that it's transmitting, but in the mines, I don't know. There's ore all around, right? So,
No, but they can record, yes?
they can record, yeah, for sure. It can act like a black box, but I don't know if it'll be transmitting
Yeah.
necessarily properly.
Well,
So I also have my lockpick set in case. I don't know. There's probably not a lot of locks in my infrared goggles. So I just make sure I pat myself down, make sure I've got everything before we go. Oh, and a crowbar.
I think we have the same stuff, right?
Yeah, you're an excavator, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take 1 minute to grab a drink, and I'll be right back.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, take a break.
All right, we can take a small 10-minute break.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds good.
So how's it going so far? I don't know how I'm doing.
No, you're doing great. It's super
Yeah.
fun. I'm really invested in this now.
Yeah, yes, I'd rather say I am enjoying myself. I think it is, a pleasurable experience and all that. And yes, I think it is quite good. Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I'm just kind of going blind and just kind of improving everything.
Well, let's go. It's going where it's working in your favor then.
Yeah.
I did some preparation, like writing down, oh, this is the personality of these people, or oh, this is what they look like, and just kind of
Right.
giving. But I'm just this is the first time I ever ran this system, and I'm just kind of critically hit or failed, and I'm just kind of going in and kind of feeling everything out. So this will be a little bit of a learning experience.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Well, I feel like playing all the time is pretty much a learning experience for me. So, just, yeah. Running it. Maybe one day I'll try something like that. But all right, guys, I will be back.
Okie doke.
We're still transmitting, though, Alexis.
Okay. So, how did it go?
Huh?
Nothing. Nothing. It's just when there's all that silence. Eventually, I just quote Aladdin. So stay tuned.
Nice. They're making the Rising of the Shield Hero 2, which is nice.
What's that?
They're making a new anime.
Oh, okay.
They're making
You swam from across the Strait of Gibraltar. Like, do you need a passport?
The Strait of Gibraltar.
Yeah, going from Spain to Morocco.
Possibly. Well, you would need a passport to get to Spain, so
But like, if you're in Spain, say you were Spanish, and you swam
Hey.
from like Gibraltar down to Morocco. Like at that, do you need
are you
to like
planning on
swim with your
staying?
passport? No, I'm just curious, like, because how would you swim with your passport? It would get all watery.
You put them in those little Ziploc bags that you can hang around your or stuff in your bathing suit or something.
That'd be really uncomfortable. It takes several hours to swim that straight.
Well, then I don't think you would bring it. And then you would be like not a fugitive, but like entering a country illegally.
Criminal.
Citizens from a long list of countries do not require a visa to enter Morocco, only a valid passport. So yes, you do need a passport to get to Morocco.
But if you swam there, there's no customs.
Well,
So where are they going to check your passport?
surprise checks when you try to. Are you swimming back? Are you planning on staying there on forever, or are you going to come back?
I guess you'd have to think about that.
Yeah.
I guess you'd want to swim back if you didn't bring your passport.
Yeah, technically, passport or not, you would want to back or. I feel like that would be like, okay, I'm going to. Decision would be, and I'm going to come back, or and I'm going to stay there, or.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe they do have like lifeguards all along the coast, and the lifeguards are the ones that are supposed to be checking passports for.
Lifeguard custom agents.
There might be a
Yeah,
Coast
The worst
Guard.
episode of Baywatch ever.
Are you coming? Are you transporting fruits?
Do you have any fruits or vegetables on your person? I'm wearing a Speedo. Where was I put it?
Do you have any conditioner on you? More than 10 milligrams? I feel like falafels would make a perfect space food.
Falafels?
Yeah. They just look like a little patty, something that would be convenient. There, the one thing.
And I mean it's a chickpea, right? Which is canned, which is easy to yeah.
Yeah, and they're made
dry,
from like
though.
It is, yeah. That's why I have a drink. And in low G, it wouldn't be great because it's falls apart.
Yeah.
So you need to put an additive in there so it's like a little bit gummy. At that point, I don't think it's a falafel though.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
And the only thing I can think of gummy is like liquid gummy bears.
Yeah, well, probably gelatin, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I seriously blanked out. I was like, "What's liquid and gummy? Liquid gummy bears." I feel like that checks out. The logic is strong with me.
All right.
I want to go to Zanzibar.
Is that a country?
Like,
No,
or the actual bar, like the club or restaurant. I mean,
it's a city. It's a city. It's an island city in Tanzania.
Yeah, Amy's not in Toronto, so she doesn't know what Zanzibar is. That's a strip club that we have.
Zanzibar's American.
Oh, is it?
Oh.
Yeah, they have like restaurant. Jack Black sings it. No, not Jack Black. Yeah, Jack Black.
Do you know Freddie Mercury was born in the city of Zanzibar?
The city or the restaurant strip club?
The city.
The city, huh? I did not know that.
The island city in Tanzania.
This is the one that I was talking about. That's the strip club. Adult Entertainment Nightclub. I thought that's what you were talking about, Alexia.
No, I did not know we had
No.
one of those here. But I'm assuming, like,
Those are the coordinates of what I was talking about.
I'm so confused.
or maybe that's the I don't know. Jack Black apparently. It's also,
They have
well, Jack
monkeys
Black
and
sings
leopards.
about it's the Zanzibar, but I thought it was American. But I can't find it.
All right,
Are you ready?
Everyone ready to continue?
Yep.
Yep. So you guys are heading towards the mine shaft, and you kind of head into that big awning, that big kind of where the yawning pit is, and
Mhm.
and kind of around the corridor, you can actually, and a little bit further down it, in the opposite direction of where the docking bays were, docking bay one and 2, which docking bays 1 and 2,
Mhm.
the what's it called? Well, there's like a small like tent on that end of the hallway, which Sonia remembers. Oh yeah, that's where our med bay is. So if you need anything, just head over to our med bay.
Yeah.
Just like it, just so that you're aware. You don't have to go back onto. Just so you're aware, you don't have to keep going back and forth between your ship and annoying the crap out of the captain. But whatever.
Oh no, it's our captain gets annoyed at anything. Don't worry about it. If they get annoyed, that's normal. That's a Tuesday.
Yeah, those old codgers can always they can always be a little bit of a grognard. He kind of laughs, and she opens up this what looks like a giant like freight elevator, like what you would see like in a factory where they're lowering large heavy tonnage of equipment.
Mhm.
She takes you to this freight elevator, and she goes over to the operating control panel, and she's like, everyone have their vac suits on. She's actually suiting up in hers.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
As-
my helmet back on.
Yeah, mine looks pristine. Like there's not like even a single thread out of place. It's like it's perfect, and I haven't taken it off yet.
Mine's got like
and she's
adhesive patches on it, like little iron-ons, and it's all like bands, like Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath. And
Nice. Yeah. Well, in my other life, I was.
Maybe it's your battle vac suit, like a battle vest, but a battle.
Yeah.
Yep. And once she sees that everyone has their vac suit on, she starts the elevator, and you hear a small groaning before you hear it start going click click chunk.
Mhm.
Is that normal? Does that sound normal? Is it supposed to do that?
Yes. She goes, yeah, this thing's a piece of shit. And she kind of bangs on the thing, and you actually hear it jostle and just starts moving slightly faster.
Well, perhaps maybe not that. Okay.
And this trip takes like 10 whole minutes.
Yeah, of course.
As you hear this thing like creak and moan as it just slowly lowers it down, as it slowly lowers all of you down the shaft.
Yeah, and I'm taking a look at my near the end of it, taking a look at my external oxygen gauge, just to see how bereft of oxygen it is down all the way down at the bottom.
Down here, there is still oxygen where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
However, as you get lower and lower, you can see that the oxygen is definitely getting lower, but it's not necessarily unbreathable. It's just by the point that you reach the bottom, if you're going to be staying down here long term, you're probably going to need something like, say, a mask.
Yeah.
In order to be able to breathe. But otherwise, if you were to say just kind of come down here and for like maybe like 30 minutes, just go back up, you'd be fine.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have. I don't know if these vac suits probably have, if they're made for mining in these like oxygen low zones, there might be like a filter that like pulls in some oxygen from outside and also provides some on the inside, like a hybrid setting. Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely.
So that's what I would have it on as the oxygen starts getting low.
Yep, they all have like a hybrid setting, so like you're not gonna start like, oh, I'm gonna lose all this stuff. No, it's pretty much this. It's kind of you don't know how to explain the technology on it, but it's like a hybrid system. But at the very bottom, the machine is like the loudest at this point. Everyone is wearing like gear specifically designed to chamber out the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Which thank the Lord, which that is happening, and the lower concentration of air is also helping with that. But it's still pretty loud hearing and feeling the drill going on. You can kind of see that around the drill is like what looks like a giant like extended shaft from where the drill is.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonia points out he goes, oh yeah, that's where Jerome is. He's the one that's kind of guiding everything and kind of watching it from in there.
Right.
Kind of like a pressurized canister for him.
Right. He's the one in the coffin at the bottom.
Yeah. Yep. And she kind of smiles at that as before she says, anyways, come on, let's head into the actual shaft.
All right.
Let's head to the actual mine. What she does, she leads you to another airlock, and you go into where this airlock is, and you feel it depressurize, and you start feeling it kind of depressurize and take all of the air out so that it keeps everything pressurized, and so there's no massive decompression between the two. And she leads you out into the mine. Cool. Into the mine tunnel. In the mine tunnel, there is no oxygen. You're running purely on the suit's internal oxygen supply.
Yeah, for sure.
So
if that requires a switch, I would have switched that.
Nope. Okay. It doesn't require a switch. It kind of does it automatically. But you can definitely see that the suit is like starting to provide you oxygen.
Right, cool.
So here in the shaft, you can see that it's starting to narrow. It's as you kind of go down deeper, and she has like a light, and she has like what looks like a light, either infrared light or a mixture of the two, of a light and infrared. As she puts on like an IR visor or on her IR goggles.
Right.
And she's kind of pointing her flashlight to where things are, and she's looking around for where as she looks around the shaft. And so what do you got? What are you guys gonna do? Are you guys gonna follow her? Are you guys gonna explore the shaft with her?
Yeah, I'm not going far away from any official looking person.
I've got my infrared goggles on, like active as well, just to make sure there's no like heat signatures around or whatever. I don't know if there are heat signatures around. I mean, she's pointing out stuff, right? She's got hers on.
Yep, she's putting stuff. She's pointing at stuff, kind of looking around the chamber as she points out like, oh, this is where we mined you can see like these very thin veins of ore
Right.
that are in the mine walls, and kind of these cracks in there. And she's kind of pointing them out. And she's like, "Oh yeah, we extracted this amount of ore from these veins here and here." And she's kind of pointing them out and kind of giving you a small little tour of the places. She's kind of taking this casually.
Yeah. And is it like snaking tunnels, or is it like one mine shaft, or like an organized like strip mining operation?
It's definitely kind of this straight kind of winding tunnel
Right. Okay.
where there is some branching paths, but mostly you can see that there is some organization to it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we see anything out of the ordinary? As you know, people looking for clues about where Mike could have gone, or Dr. Giovanni. I'm still not convinced that what's her name is down here. The other one. Who was it? Rosa?
Rie?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Disappeared. Yeah, that's it. I'm still not convinced that she just didn't go to the washroom or something.
Maybe. I want to see somebody like that.
If you wanna roll for what you find,
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
roll me intellect plus any what you're and then if you want to like use a skill, just rationalize what skill you are using in order to be able to derive what you were doing.
I don't have any kind of skills, so I'll just roll on my base intellect. And that is a fail. 86 is definitely a fail.
Okay.
And I've also got my bioscanner out. I realized that it's going to be blocked by like ore and metals and stuff like that, but I've got it out anyways, just to make sure. So I don't see anything necessarily out of the ordinary.
Yeah, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Most of the bioscanner's getting blocked out by a lot of the material and ore that's in the area, so it's not doing you much help. However, you can actually see where you and the others are.
Well, that's comforting.
And yep, and see where you and the others are, and you can kind of recognize where they are.
Mm-hmm.
But what is strange though is there's actually another biosignature deeper within the depths of the mine.
All right, I'm gonna. Sorry, go ahead. You do yours first.
You go ahead and just.
I think JM said something.
Well, I was thinking that is definitely a significant find. I was also wondering because I know what my skills are, but I don't necessarily know what anybody else's skills. My skills are all geared towards mathematics and space and physics and things like that.
Yeah.
So computers as well. So they're not necessarily practical in this particular matter. But what about you two scientists?
Minor biology, chemistry, psychology, and linguistics.
Minor biology, pathology, chemistry, and first aid.
All right.
First aid, perfect.
Well, that's useful, certainly. So do we? How can we? I mean, it's good that the bioscanner has picked up something.
Yeah, I wonder if that's Mike, and I'm definitely gonna show Sonia.
It could be any of our missing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she goes, and then Sonia takes a look at it. It's like, yeah, maybe that's him. And she starts actually. He's like, I think I know where how to get there too.
All right,
Well,
let's.
And she.
Perfect. We can get him and get out of here a little quicker. Perhaps. Yes, that would be good.
And it would take you guys like another 30 minutes just to get where they are.
Right.
And where that is. And it's way deeper into the mines. It's like uber dark.
Yeah, of course.
Like barely you can, like if you were to turn off all your lights, you'd be in pitch black.
Yeah.
Like, this is not necessarily an unexplored part, but it's definitely one that's not. But that's not definitely not one that's been well traveled. As you kind of go into this very narrow part of the mine, and you finally, and on your biosignature, it should be like maybe 20 meters out from where you are.
Yeah.
So do you so what do you do, since it's like 20, whatever the biosignature is 20 meters out from where you are?
And we can't see anything, right? Because our lights are.
Are you wearing? You're wearing.
I'm wearing the what's it called? The infrared goggles, and if there's lights on my vac suit, I'll like turn them on, turn them off, because with them on, I guess they probably interfere with the infrared.
Yeah, it would definitely interfere with the infrared a little bit, considering that since infrared what it uses is infrared light.
Yeah.
Is how
So
if I remember
so I would like
works.
switch between the two.
So
just to see if I can see anything.
Definitely the kind of the plane. 2 headlamps. Yeah, your headlamps would definitely work here better than the IR, because at this point the light has become so intense from like the difference between like actual light and IR light is blurring out your vision. So
Yeah.
definitely it would be more useful for headlamps.
Yeah. Okay.
2, you notice on the ground a vac suit, like just slumped in a pile.
Just like a. Does it look
slumped in a
empty?
pile. It's completely empty. However,
Jeez.
what will be noticed is looking at it. There is a splash of yellow goo on the natural cave walls, and there is an empty vac suit slumped in a heap. What you can actually see is if you look around a little bit more, you see the laser cutter on the ground, and on above where it is, large black lettering with the word silence is scorched into the wall.
Silence. Shh.
Well, that's rather unnerving. I don't think anyone would survive very long without their suit.
Is there a stick somewhere that I could take to like move the suit without touching the yellow goop?
I would assume that you would have something to be able to prod it, but there's nothing around here that would be useful in prodding it like a stick or a pipe. But I would assume that you would have something like a pen that you'd be able to like.
Okay, yeah. I would assume I have one of those.
Like a stylus or a pen, because that would make scientist. But yeah,
Yeah.
you can actually move a little bit of the suit with like a stylus or pen, as you kind of move around the goop and try not do anything to it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the name tag to see who does this belong to.
And I'm gonna keep an eye out in the direction, which I assume I can't see the 20 meters out. But I'm gonna keep an eye on that direction that I'm getting the heat reading from. or the bio reading from, just to make sure nobody comes running out at us or whatever.
Well, for starters, you're standing right next to the bio reading.
Oh,
That where the vac suit is,
That's
the
it.
bio.
Okay.
That's the bio reading.
all right. So this is concerning. Does the bio reading detect dead things?
I see dead people.
It doesn't. It's a bioscanner, so it's going to detect bio. So a bioscanner. Let me look it up in the actual book. But in my interpretation, a bioscanner for signs, it scans for signs of life. It is
Yeah.
Any kind.
it scans for signs of life.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't detect dead things. But what it can detect is living things,
Yeah.
and whatever this goop is, it's definitely it appears living. From at least what the bioscanner is telling you.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
We definitely need a sample of this group.
And also, Candy, you look and you're able to maneuver the pen pretty well, all considering. I would just recommend making like a speed roll, just to.
Let me see. 34.
Hmm?
Oh no, I failed. 56.
Can you also can you contain some of this stuff somehow? I mean, surely you must be used to taking various samples of all sorts of kinds. I mean, you want to find out what this stuff is.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
have
you know,
do you have some
you
kind
could
of
be-
sample kit or something?
Yeah. I would assume that if you're a scientist, that you're gonna have some sort of way to gather a sample, even though everyone got excavation for some strange reason.
Well,
I would
I mean,
assume.
to be fair, I pushed the button like a million times until I got something
Mm-hmm.
right, I guess. But
Because if you don't have a petri
I don't-
dish, I got some cards. I can just squish it between two cards, and bring it back.
No, that's gonna.
well, guys, I have a nasty feeling about this stuff. I wonder if it's actually the remains of one of our people.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I must, it doesn't specify on the sheet, but I must have something like a petri dish or like a little tube or something like that I can scoop some goop.
Yeah, goop tube.
Because that's my job title.
Mhm.
The goop scooper.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah.
I would
definitely want to do that to pick some up too, but I want to know who belong to.
Huh?
Sorry, I definitely want to scoop some goop, but I also want to find out who this vac suit belonged to.
Yeah, so you scoop a good size sample for it.
Okay.
And definitely this suit is making it difficult to actually be able to maneuver your pen around.
Right.
To be able to pull it around.
If I see she's having an issue, I'm gonna walk up and I've got a crowbar on my utility belt. So I'm gonna take the crowbar out and there's a hook on one end. So I'm gonna just grab it with the hook and like turn it over.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Okay.
all have crowbars.
Yeah, we're all excavators.
Yeah. So that with that kind of the tug of the crowbar, you're definitely able to pull it. You're definitely able to pull it out so that you can see what it is.
Yeah.
And clearly, the name tag on the vac suit says Mike.
Okay.
Like,
Well, Well, perhaps it seems we have found our inquiry. I don't know that anyone would survive down here, so perhaps we should get going back. I think something must have happened. We could file a report maybe.
You're not worried about Giovanni?
Uh,
Or,
uh, yes. Plum forgot. My bad. Yes, I guess we should stay down here.
I could see you like furtively looking around while you said
yeah.
that.
While you're all talking, the Miss Sonia Sonia's standing there, just kind of looking at her remains. She's like, "What could have caused?" And then she hears she looks at your bioscanner, Raven.
Yeah.
You have your bioscanner out, right?
Yeah, of
She
course.
looks at it and she's looking at it and she's like, "That can't be right." And she looks at the thing, and of course that's a bioscan. But she also says, "Who's that?" And she points at a dot
Yeah.
on the bioscanner. But it's not, and it's nuts, and you can see it clearly in the bioscanner, and it's moving towards you.
Right. So I look. I look in the direction of it.
Yeah, you look in the direction of it.
Yeah.
You don't see anything. There.
Hey guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna say, hey guys, look at this. And like with my back to the bioscan, it's probably gonna bite me in the ass. But with my back to the bioscan, I'll show them. And sorry, with my back to whatever is causing this bioscan to go off, I'm gonna show them just to illustrate that there's something coming towards us.
So, and I note that, and I sort of point at the word written on the wall.
The word that was written with the welder, the
Yeah,
silence.
silence.
Laser cutter. Silence.
Yeah. And
So you're watching.
yeah, so I'll definitely put my finger to the front of my vac suit mask, like I'm saying shh, and make sure everybody sees that, and then just kind of step out of the way, and see what
Step out of the
happens.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of like having your back to where the bioscan is.
I was, and now that's sorry, what's his name? Sam Strigas. Sam
Yes.
is it has said, oh, he's connected like the word and the bioscan. I'm gonna silently step off to the side and see if this thing is following the sound.
Yeah, you can. From what you can see, you're watching the bioscan as you see it on the scanner, and it's hard to actually pinpoint where it is. Like it kind of gives like jolty, very jittery movement because of how the cave is and the ores and stuff that's around the cave. However, what you notice is that the thing moves. It's stopped. It stopped around probably about 70, 50-ish meters out from you. And it's kind of staying that way. Just kind of staying that way. And when you moved and kind of moved it, you could watch it shift just a little bit and then orient and then just kind of move back.
Right.
So I also have I have goggles that can sense heat signatures. I'm guessing, like, maybe those would be sort of useful now.
Oh, the infrared goggles?
Well, it doesn't say infrared, but I'm assuming that's kind of what it is. Heat signatures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, infrared it talks about infrared light, but infrared works with heat signatures as well. Either way, in this play, and you can't. I'm guessing you have the infrared goggles on, and you're trying to look in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So what you see? Do you want to? Okay. So what you notice is you look down the hallway, and you can't see typically anything typically you see just like complete blue. Because there's no infrared light, there's no heat that you can technically see, but you I'm gonna need you to make an intelligence check to be able to if you're able to spot anything out of the ordinary, especially with the distance of how far it is, according to the bioscan at least.
That's for JM, right? For Sam.
Yeah, I think Sam. Yeah,
Yep.
Sam
Yep.
Schnorgus.
Roll up.
Okay. All right. Give this my first roll.
Nice. It's a D100.
So 48.
Oh.
What's your intelligence?
Yeah. So no. Oh, intellect. Intellect is 45.
I'll give you a small bonus because you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know what you're looking for. You're at least looking for something in that direction. So you're kind of alert as to what you're looking for. But you do notice what looks like a shimmer, like a faint shimmer. Not like something like, oh, there's something readable. Like you can, like the IR is registering that something is there. Like it sees this scraggly, vague humanoid shape of whatever it is. It has humanoid features. Like it looks like it has something like arms and hands and things, but you can't make out anything else because it's just so distorted. What you're looking at.
But it seems human shaped.
Yeah.
What should we do?
I'm gonna hold up my short range comm and very very obviously flick it on. But not so that there's man, do they just provide static the whole time that they're on? Or do they have are they like silent running?
Probably digital, so they're probably silent.
They're silent running. They're
Right.
digital.
All right, so I'm gonna take this, make sure it's on, and then I'm gonna chuck it down the hallway, and then I'm gonna point at Sylvie, and like point at her short range comm.
Oh, yes, yes, I have one of those. Yes, certainly could take that out.
And then I'll say
Yep.
shh, shh, shh again.
Oh, yes. Best be quiet. Yes.
And then I'm motioning for her to like turn it on.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. Okay. And then try whispering into it.
Well, hello, test 1, 2. Yes, this is a test of the short communication device. Seems to be working on this end. How is it on your end? Yes. Quite right. Yes. Over.
And I assume we can hear that from down the hallway.
Hopefully, whatever that thing is, I'm thinking to myself, hopefully it doesn't understand galactic standard.
Yeah. So if we can hear that down the hallway, I'm going to watch the bioscan to see if this thing moves to intercept
Yep.
the sound.
You watch it. You watch when it hears it. Since everyone can hear the sound of that comm going off, you can watch that. You can watch it like move slowly down the hall. Slowly, you actually can watch it move. The bioscan as it kind of moves along, it kind of like distortedly moves along before it goes out of range of what the bioscan is going for. Since it,
Right.
since you're,
Yeah.
since the bioscan itself is inhibited by the depths of the mind, by the
Right,
mind
yeah.
itself.
Yeah, of course. All right. So I'm not saying this, but I will say this next thing in character. So I think this is this Dr. Giovanni? This isn't Ria, is it? I hope not.
No.
And I'm saying that to the group.
Well, I don't rightly know. I've, never had the pleasure of meeting any of them before, so I am uncertain as to who this might be.
They've gone
doubt
out.
that it's human.
They've gone out of range of the. They've gone out of range of the scanner. Should we move down there? Should we move closer?
You
Absolutely.
you want to move closer to the thing?
Yes, but stealthily.
Or what if we just call it to us?
You want it to come. You want to make contact with this entity.
We want to make contact with an advantage. And right now, it thinks that we're somewhere else, which counts as an advantage.
Certainly. Okay. Well. Yes. After you, as it were.
Yes.
I've definitely got my crowbar in my hand still. I'm just holding that nervously. I do have a laser cutter as well. Looks like
Yes, I also have one.
looks like a pretty nasty weapon. But I don't have it out. Like I still think it might be Dr. Giovanni. And I don't think my character would necessarily jump to the conclusion that it was like some kind of weirdo alien or something. So he's going with the assumption that this is a person. And maybe this person has killed somebody. So yeah, for sure. I'm gonna walk forwards. I'm gonna take point on that with my crowbar, still sort of nervously in my hand, and move quietly.
Certainly hoping it is an alien. So
yeah, as players, I think we know it's an alien.
So you're moving down the hall towards where the comm is.
Yeah, exactly. And I've still got my bioscanner in one hand, my crowbar in the other, just to pinpoint it.
Yeah. So you move down the hall, and you're watching the bioscanner because it hasn't moved a little bit. But then as you round the corner to where would the thing where the thing would be, it's about from where the comm is, right? It's about, the comm is about 10 meters out from where you are, and this thing is about 12 meters from you.
Right. So it's like on the
And
other side of the comm.
yeah, it's about 12 meters from you, and it's about 12 meters from you, and right now, I'm gonna need you to make me a speed check.
Okay. Let's see.
Raymond,
Sorry, yeah.
just you?
Just me, I think, because I'm taking point. And I've got athletics. I don't know if the speed check is for the stealth or what. It's physical sports and games. That sounds like feats of strength rather than stealthiness, though, doesn't it?
It's this would be more applicable in the situation you were going to be in. Basically,
Right.
athletics is saying who is going to act first.
Right. Okay. All right. So my speed is 27. Pretty slow. That is a 30.
And you're adding athletics to that.
I haven't added it, so it would be 32. Is my target number, and I rolled 30.
Okay. So here is what happened.
Okay.
So as soon as you rounded that corner, you immediately notice that this thing, as soon as you rounded that corner, starts closing the distance towards you.
Okay.
It is getting the closer. You're like, holy shit!
Yeah.
As you see this start getting closer and closer, really rapidly quicker.
And I'm not seeing anything, am I? Like visually.
You're not. Visually, you're not seeing anything. You still got your headlamps. You still got your headlamps at full blast.
Yeah, and so since the jig is up, I'm gonna say, Dr. Giovanni, is that you? And I'm gonna raise my crowbar as well, to because this guy's scaring me now. Now I think that this is not a person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, perhaps we go back towards the elevator. Yes. I think that would be the best course of action.
Sounds like we got one vote to go, but well, waiting on this creature's
I need
reaction.
you to make I need you to make me an armor save, Raven.
Okay. All right. So my armor is 35. Doesn't look like I have anything for it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Backsuit counts for it. You have to roll below a 42.
Oh, right. That's right. Okay. So I rolled an 18, which is pretty damn good.
That is pretty good. Give me 1 second because I have to refresh myself a little bit on the combat rules about who wins the situation. But give me 1 second as to armor. Opposed checks, critical fails, earning credits, hit location, damage. How do I attack? Seeds, they roll damage. What about armor saves? I read this. Come on. Where does defenders attacker seeds? Wait, there we go. Check for surprise. Take your turn. Fail. Speed check. Take 2 actions. Attacking. Make an opposed check versus armor. Succeed. Roll damage. Miss or fail to inflict damage.
Oh, is that supposed to be you rolling against my armor?
Yeah, I'm rolling again. Yeah, I'm rolling against your armor. I'm trying to figure out how armor safe is going to work. So how I'm going to rule it is I'm going to say it's going to work like a regular save. So I'm going to roll like a regular thing.
Right.
So hold on. So it goes through. Okay. So you watch as you don't necessarily watch it, but you feel it as it's right in front of you, and you feel, and you, as you step back, as you jump back, it, because you got the instinct to do so.
Yeah.
You watch as you can't feel it, but you feel as if something just cut through the air, and another swipe just came down and got through and just breached your vac suit with its claws.
Oh, damn.
Stabbing.
All right. So, is there a like air is escaping my vac suit?
Yeah, it's it's definitely been punctured.
Right.
At the very least. And you hear an internal monitor, an internal alarm go off as you hear it, that it's slowly decompressing.
Right. Okay. And my reaction, I know my reaction. I'm definitely gonna hit this thing. But I wonder what the rest of the group is doing as well.
I am backing away.
Yeah, it's
I
fast and
don't-
we're under
I don't
attack. I've got
think,
my laser.
I don't think we should stay here any longer. I think we should go now.
I have my laser cutter ready. Oh,
Okay, and you have your IR goggles on, right?
I have
So
a laser cutter. Yeah.
So what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to roll me your attack. So I need you to roll combat. So how that's going to work is you are going to roll me at disadvantage. You are not suited, because the following reasons: you're not suited for combat. You have no combat training whatsoever. And not only that, but you're fighting in such you're fighting something that you can barely make out in the dark.
Okay. Raven first, right?
So how this works is you roll a D100 twice, and then you take the worst result, quote unquote.
Oh yeah, and I
Go
should
live
have
in
gotten
French Polynesia.
I should have gotten disadvantage on my speed check earlier because of my vac suit.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't.
I'll remember for next time. Sorry, what was that, Amy?
I was just thinking I'm gonna go live in French Polynesia.
Dreaming of Earth again, eh?
She doesn't want to be here anymore.
So how's James' roll? Sam?
Sam rolls combat, and what I'm gonna have Raven do while we're doing that. Two things. You're gonna roll. You're going to roll me. You're gonna roll me a fear save, just a small fear save.
Okay.
Just to see if you get stress, and then and then you're gonna roll me a panic check, and I'll tell you how to do that.
Okay. So the fear save, I've got 35. And nothing. I don't think I've got anything else. Wait, hold on. Once per session, you may re-roll a roll on the panic table. Okay, so this is not that. This is 84 is a failure. I failed my fear check.
Okay. So you are going to take 5 stress.
Okay.
And then what I want you to do is I want you to roll me you're gonna roll 2d10 plus and then try to roll over your stress.
Okay. 2d10 and try to roll over my stress. All right.
Yep.
So that should be easy. 65.
2d65.
Yeah.
That would be 11. So okay. So you make your stress check.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
2d10.
It was
It's just
69. Oh, I see. It was not. It's not a percentile. Okay.
It's just 2d. It's just 2d10.
Yes.
So you make.
So
You got 15. So you make it.
yeah. Cool. All right.
So you don't pan. You're definitely like, holy shit! What just happened? As you're slowly decompressing.
Yeah.
And two, you kind of muster down the ability to panic because you're decompressing and you just got hit by something
Yeah.
that you can't see.
Yeah. That's right. So the first thing I'm gonna do in reaction to this thing hitting me, is I can't see it. I'm gonna try flicking to the infrared sensor, and I don't know how much time that takes up on my turn.
That's just a simple pull down.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah, for sure. I'll do that then, and pull my laser cutter and start shooting.
by the way, everyone who's going to be entering combat, roll for speed check at disadvantage because you're wearing vac suits.
Yeah. So I rolled a 30 before. I'm gonna roll it again and see if I get a worse result. And I do. I got a 95.
Well, that's a much better result, right?
So
No,
the enemy
it's
is going
much
to
worse.
Oh,
So they're going to take their turn after you. They're going to take their turn before you. And if anybody else is entering combat, please roll speed check.
I have a question. If I want to do so, for one thing, can first aid help Raven's torn suit?
wait, I don't.
First aid will not help a torn suit, as first aid is stabilizing someone.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, I'm thinking I'm entering combat. I mean, I'm not quite sure how the scores this, but
You're gonna roll. What you're gonna do for combat? What you're gonna do is you're gonna roll a speed check.
right. Okay, so that's 2d10, right?
Yeah, no, it's two. It's a D100, and you're gonna. It's
right.
percentile.
Yeah. So percentile.
So,
What do I roll to try to convince everyone to run away?
31.
31.
Yes.
I would say that'd be an intellect plus. It'll be an intellect.
Can I use my knowledge of human psychology?
To gain like advantage or whatever.
It gives me 10%.
Oh, thanks.
Gives you 15%, but yeah, you can use it.
Okay. I'm gonna try to convince everyone it's time to run away. Okay. That's a failure. Never mind. I should go now. I did that.
I rolled a 31 and a 78. I'm already doing the speed check, so I'm not planning on. I don't think I'm yet planning to run away. Not yet.
Right.
No, the speed check just determines initiative. So the monster already in. So the monster already took. I'm just gonna say the monster already took its turn with the attack on Raven.
Right. Yeah.
So Raven. So Raven, it's your turn. So you're gonna raise your laser cutter and fire.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. For sure.
All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to roll combat.
Yeah, I've got combat. I've got firearms as well, which probably means I'm not at disadvantage. I assume.
Nope. No, the disadvantage is due to circumstance, and
Right,
so it's
okay.
kind of like interpretational. But since you have firearms, you can totally, you can roll with your full bonus.
Right, okay, yep, for sure. And that's it. My combat's actually not that great. It's 26, so we'll see.
What is your combat
20.
score?
Oh, wait, hold on. My combat score is 26, and I rolled a 22, which is doubles.
That's a critical hit.
Yeah.
That's a critical hit. So here's how
Wicked.
we're gonna do this. Here's how we're gonna do critical hits. So it's gonna function like, we're gonna keep it simple. We're just gonna make it function like D&D.
Right, okay.
So you're gonna roll double the damage.
Okay. Okay. The
gonna-
damage is D100.
Yep. So you're
Yeah.
gonna roll 2d100.
Okay. All right. So let me do that. So I've got 49. Just plug that in. 49, so I don't forget. Plus 54. Plus 54 is 103 damage. It's a one shot. I have to reload for 1 round. And there's only 6 shots before I lengthy recharge. So I'm going to mark down that I've shot
Minus the same.
1 time. Yeah.
Okay, so you out of panic basically pull down, flick down your IR, raise up your laser cutter, and just melt off a blast of what looks like a red laser beam that
Yeah.
just pierces through and just cuts through something. As you hear a roar of, well, you don't even hear the roar because you're in vacuum.
Yeah.
But you just sweep it up, and you just hear this mental roar
Right.
in your head as you feel something thump on the ground,
Yeah.
and then something go and just brush back past you and knock you to the ground.
Oh, man.
Make a body as you hit it hard.
You said a body save?
Make a body save to like stay standing, because you just
Right,
got like
yeah.
it just basically
Ooh.
whatever it is, it's making its retreat now.
If
It's gonna try to make
if
its
I
retreat.
have a body stat of 30 and I rolled a 30, is that a save or not?
Wait, that's a body stat of 30, and you've made a 30. That's a success. So
Okay,
so you
good.
managed to.
Phew.
So it's bigger than you. So you managed to keep your ground, but it's definitely trying to move past you.
Yeah.
So that just goes. So Mauser, what you doing?
Okay, so I rolled the speed check.
Yeah, you rolled your speed check. You did your initiative. Now it's your turn in initiative. So you have to make your actions.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to hit this thing while it retreats with
your
the laser cutter.
with your laser cutter, right?
Yes. So does that give, because it's retreating, does that give me an advantage this time?
Because it's retreating, does that give you advantage this turn?
Because it's
No.
retreating.
It is. I'm going to. It's not. It's going to give you an advantage, which cancels out. Which, since it's facing its back towards you and it's not. It's trying to get away. Then I'm going to allow it and say, yeah, that it gets
Okay.
that it gets.
Thanks. See what
So,
we can do here. So I have to roll d10 twice again.
No percent. It's just combat, right?
Yeah.
That he's rolling.
Yeah, that would be combat.
So 44.
44.
Yeah. What's your combat?
My combat is 31.
Okay, so that sounds like a fail, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you belt off a shot in its direction, and it just sort of just ducks pat. It sort of and you can see it in the eye art kind of ducks past the shot as it moves on. Candy, are you
I
entering?
had an advantage, so I should roll like a second time though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah, so I didn't realize. Sorry. Yeah, I was confused. Sorry. Fine.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
What was
he
that?
just rolled 100. He just rolled 100.
Ooh.
That's a critical success.
Like a perfect 100.
That's a critical
Wow.
success.
What is that? That's a critical what?
That's a critical success.
Oh wow. Okay. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
My rolls
roll
normally
double
suck.
so roll double damage.
Oh. Okay.
So
Double damage. So damage is what? D10.
D100.
Yeah. Double damage. Okay.
80.
Okay. Cycle
And then roll it again.
Yep. Sorry. It's not probably I need one of those like
63.
63 and 80.
Okay, so 140. Yep. Okay, so you fire off another large shot, and you hear it screech and roar. You hear it, and you just feel you fire off another shot, and then Raven, you can feel you can watch the laser just pass right by you.
Yeah, this thing is
And
hot. I can feel it through my suit.
Yeah. Yeah, and you immediately see this. You can kind of see it as its entrails are now visible.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Damn.
And it starts like, and you can watch it like sit there and drop to the ground at this strange alien creature on the ground.
Right.
Wow. And it's now completely visible.
Yeah, because you basically just bisected it in two, so you just see its organs laying on the ground, and Raven managed to cut into it a fairly good bit through it.
Yeah.
Even managing to cut off its arm.
So is its like I'm feeling like its skin has some sort of natural cloaking system or something. Has that worn off now that it's kind of in two?
Yeah.
Or is it still
Yeah,
or is the cloaking still intact and we're just seeing its guts?
It's definitely still the cloaking is still intact because of whatever the material of the skin is.
Yeah.
But really, it's just bleeding on. It's just bleeding on the ground.
Right.
Is it yellow goop
Not.
that is bleeding?
You definitely see a mixture of yellow goo in its system. But it's like a mixture of like this yellowish goo and some red and not some red, some blue. It's like a heavy weird mix of all these different colors. It's kind of creating like this weird green pigment.
Well, we didn't analyze it yet, but I'm pretty confident that the yellow goop we saw there was made somewhere. Fred Mike.
Yeah. And I'm also I'm gonna turn to the group and ask if anyone's got some duct tape and kind of cover the slash, try and cover it up with my hands. Do I feel like I'm hurt there, by the way?
Yeah, you're definitely pretty hurt.
You're right. Yeah.
How much health do you have? That should be what's your strength?
My strength is 37.
Multiplied by 2 is 74. So yeah, it's that claw attack definitely bit into your skin and left a pretty good sized cut on it.
Yeah.
And you're trying to hold everything in, and it's still decompressing. If you would like to try it like an intellect, like a speed, I'm gonna do this, an average of your speed and intellect roll and your intellect.
Yeah.
And and if you have it, mechanical repair to be able
Right,
to repair
okay.
your backs really fast.
All right, so that would be about 29 would be the average. So I'm gonna try rolling against that. That is 11. Oh, that's a critical success. Assuming that works
Yep.
on
Yep, that
these
works.
skills. Okay,
You-
perfect.
Yeah, you basically managed. I said intellect and speed as an average because you're moving to try and close it as fast as you can with the material that you have,
Yeah.
and you do it flawlessly.
Cool.
You
Awesome.
you basically move as fast as you can, basically trying to like duct tape it shut and try to hold everything in.
Yeah.
As you manage to hold everything in, and you manage to do it perfect. You just manage to do it perfectly.
Nice.
You just have enough oxygen that you can get. You just have enough oxygen that you could probably get to the surface, maybe even a little bit more.
Right. All right. I'm gonna take a second though, and I'm gonna take a risk. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bind my my back suit's glove with duct tape, just like wrap it up. And I'm going to pat the yellow goop, the sort of blood that's coming out of it. And I'm gonna wipe it on its face so that I can see the contours of its face. Like I'll feel around for its head, and then I'll just kind of wipe the goop on its face. Because I'm gonna have to touch this to bring it up anyways, so I'm kind of testing out to see if it's, poisonous or whatever.
Stick or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So you take the goop. You take basically your glove off and you basically rub it in the goop, right? And then you put it on the face, and you can see its contours. Like, it looks completely alien.
Oh,
like,
right.
The alien from what is it, Stranger Things? The Demogorg? Whatever it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's what it kind of looks like. You can see that it has like this large mouth full of like jagged teeth and which you can guess is very powerful muscle, as it looks like it needs it to eat. Demogorgon, there it is.
Yeah. Well.
Having heard all the commotion and looking back, seeing this thing on the ground, her curiosity will get the best of her, and Sylvie will get the well, if it's already incapacitated, well, perhaps it wouldn't hurt to take a little sample back with us. And she will take out her little laser cutter and start cutting some like slices, like maybe like a tissue slice off like the cheek, and like maybe a claw, and
no, we're taking the whole thing.
Oh, you're taking the whole thing.
Right,
Taking the whole thing back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and
do that.
I'm gonna try to enlist some help, and we're gonna try.
She will help. She will help you. Yeah.
Right.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Yeah.
I thought we were
We should.
taking pieces.
Oh,
I agree. We should take it. We should take the whole body back.
So basically, you guys are trying to get in there without touching the yellow goop that's there.
Yeah. No goop. My suit is pristine, and I want to keep it that way.
Okay.
She's got like a cloth, and like she holds the cloth and like puts that over the part where the body that she's touching, and carries it like with the cloth in between her and her suit.
I take my pen and I dip it in the blue stuff that's oozing out, and then I turn to, hey Sylvie, look at what I got, and I
I just drop what I have towards the elevator.
So I take it you guys are just gonna. Are you just gonna carry the?
Yeah, I'll take it under its. If it's got two arms, I'll take it under its shoulders, and the head side. And if someone can take the legs, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the legs.
Yep. So you guys are carrying it up. Probably. So you guys are carrying it out of the mine shaft and up the mine. Which which the entire time, Sonia was like, what just happened, and watched this whole thing go down. And she looks down at this thing with like a shocked expression, like, what did we just find?
Yeah.
What is this thing?
I don't know. You tell.
Need to
This
close up
isn't.
that mine shaft.
Captain Giovanni wasn't that ugly, was he?
No, I don't even know what that thing is.
No, we don't know what it is, but we killed it. Hopefully there aren't any more, because it's pretty hostile.
Yeah, until we know more about it, you should close up that mine shaft.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna be closing down this. We're gonna be closing down this mine shaft, and I'm probably gonna send a notice to corporate about it. And she says with a nod. And what happens is that and as you guys get up to the top of the thing, a lot of the crew, some of the two about Dana and Jerome. Dana was up there kind of pacing back and forth, and so was Jerome.
Yeah.
And they actually get to this. Hey, they're like, hey, you guys all right? Do you guys know where Morgan went?
Morgan.
Or what happened?
Morgan's gone.
And what's that thing?
Yeah. We found this thing in there. We killed it. It attacked us. If people are going missing, this thing is invisible. Its skin is still invisible, right?
Yeah, it's kind of losing the invisible nature. Like you can see it, begin to start seeing it more clearly. But yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, if we got invisible creatures running around, I wonder if these people are being taken away or to a lair or eaten or something, like right in front of you. This is no good.
We found the remains of. We found Mike's suit, and it was empty. But there's substance around there that I need us to analyze it. But I have the remains of Mike.
Yeah, and it looks a lot like this thing's blood too. Whatever that yellow goop is.
And Dana kind of like puts her hand over her face, and she's like, and she's kind of sighs, and Sonia's kind of like really kind of depressed about it that Mike died, and that Mike is gone, and she goes, there goes our safe days.
Yeah, you gotta reset that sign over there that says however many days since the last accident. Do we also work for Moorback and Blacksmith Mining Co? Mining Incorporated?
Okay. Those are the guys that sent you out.
So that's corporate that's gonna get a message. And as she does, as we take samples and stuff like that, I know my scientist friends are gonna do their science thing. But I'm gonna kind of send off a message, maybe to somebody that I know. No, you know what? I'm gonna send a message to, if I can, if messages like this are possible, to Epsilon 13, just saying that that we're going to be delayed, and if they don't hear from us, they should send someone to look.
Okay.
If this kind of message is possible, I don't really know. I guess so, because she's sending a message off to corporate. Doesn't have to go by courier or something.
No, it goes more like by comm relays and all that such.
Right,
So
okay.
it's going to take some time for it to get there, but it will get there. And it does, and everything seems to actually calm down. And you guys do what do you guys do, how do you guys take samples with the I'm gonna call it the Demigorgon.
Mhm.
With the Demigorgon, how are you guys taking samples of it?
I will swab its cheek and then put that on a plate and look at it under a microscope, and then like maybe like a very small sliver of tooth, like so thin that you can shine light through it, and I'll look through that. And I also want to investigate the skin because it has invisible properties.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so everyone who is going to be studying this thing, and I
Yes.
assume that you're all probably going to be doing this outside of your vac suits, but everyone please do, who is going to be doing this, do the following. So I want you guys to make an intellect check for each thing that you try, for the two things you're trying to study that I heard from that. One would be its teeth, the other being its bodily fluids, and the last one being the
skin.
the skin.
Right. So I'm going to test the skin because I feel like it might have some like space refracting, or like kind of it might have some special material property that
Yeah,
might be
you're a
interesting to
physicist.
Right.
Are
Yeah.
we each making 3 rolls, or we're each making 1?
Whoever is doing what is whoever's doing what. So if Amy, if you're studying each thing, you have to make 3 rolls, because that is what you're. And
Okay.
then Mauser, who says I'm going to study the skin, he needs to make 1 roll.
And we
So
get
each
to
thing
add our. Sorry, go ahead.
if that depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to analyze it through the lens of biology, then you will use that.
Okay.
If you're which is 10%, not 5%.
Okay, 10%. Okay.
If you're
I don't know which is which, but I succeeded on all of them. No doubles. I got it. I got a 9, a 19, and a 42.
okay, so what you find out with what you discovered is, for starters, the teeth in of themselves are really sharp. Like this thing, like the claws and such are pretty much made of the same material, but they can go through easily a lot of the material that is on vac suits, that it's on battle dress even. This thing is meant to eat things and just gobble them up. In fact, actually, if you took samples, if you actually investigated a little bit further and found that this thing is what's eaten the others as well. VA.
Wow.
They're digested. Yeah, in the digestive fluids. You can see their name tags, but you don't see Giovanni's in there. You do notice, and what you do notice, the second part was the fluids. The yellow sludge that you found the yellow sludge that you found, it has very strange properties. Like it functions like a biological organism, like it's like cells and such. But when introducing it to like foreign cells or foreign objects, it will try to interact with it in a very strange way, and you can watch it like try and go in and change the chromosomes, or change the structure of the cell itself from what you can see.
It's like a virus.
And the third one is, and the third one, which was the skin, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is for you, both you and Mauser, because you probably looked at it from different perspectives. Mauser from a physics perspective, and you from a biological perspective. So the biological perspective is that this thing has like a chameleon's flesh. It's able to cloak itself, but it's able to cloak itself near perfectly and not do it in like the slowish amount of time that a chameleon has. Even though they can do it pretty quick and do like these really cool colors with the pigments, the skin, the actual thing is that it moves. It kind of moves pigments and whatever it is that it senses around it, and it's able to move and shift it so that it's near perceptibly invisible to its prey. From a physics standpoint, basically it tries to reflect the surface that's behind it, and it's able to do this by bending it, by the cells literally bending the light around in a specific way so that it bends the light around the area.
Most interesting.
Yes. Indeed.
Candy, did you want to study anything?
I want to study the blood and I guess we've already done like the stomach contents.
Yeah, I
Okay.
pretty much factored in the blood and the contents together.
Yeah, so no, that's pretty much it.
Just okay. So roll me an intellect plus your what is it? Your your virology or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
gee, yeah.
That's,
Yeah, because you guys
It's too bad that it's dead. Won't be able to glean much from its brain.
so I have to roll under. Yeah, forget it. I rolled a 90, so
Ooh.
yeah,
just
no.
for nothing.
Yeah, you're looking at it's like this. You're like, this thing's not a virus. What the fuck is it? You're staring at it. You're like, this isn't like any virus I know. What is it?
Oh,
What is this?
my finger was in the way.
Well, Sam,
But, yeah.
I wonder if there are any more of these things. You mentioned that this one's not
Yeah,
alive.
that's what I was thinking.
Maybe there'll be a living specimen for you to test out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
I've sent a message off to Epsilon 13 through the relays, and I told them that we're going to be delayed, and that honestly, if they don't hear from us, they should send somebody.
Yep.
Good thank you.
Yep. So you wouldn't, and that's the way it will leave.
Mhm.
As for the space station, you have figured for the threat of the space station for now
Mhm.
has been abated. For you have the corpse of a dead beast, for a dead alien monster thing.
Nice.
As the cold empty as you realize the cold emptiness of space is closing in around you, as feeling a bit claustrophobic, as everything as you feel that maybe there's something out there that we don't know, something that may try to bring the world down upon us. If that was the case, you do, and just to kind of make a final note, you do get back a reply about a couple days later if you stay on the station for a bit. If you stay on the station, or if you guys just kind of hang out, if you gave them the comm codes to your ship, you, in about a few days, you would be able to get a reply back basically saying 10-4, read your transmission. Please please recover the body and turn it over to more backers and blacksmith mining immediately.
Yeah.
As well, and they said, as well as please bring any financial compensation and begin preparations to close out the mine.
And financial compensation is he talking about for us? Because this is danger pay for me. That's what I know.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely occupational danger pay.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets like a pretty good. You guys get a pretty good. Guys get a pretty good sum of credits for what you just went through. So
Yeah, and I figure.
they're gonna be like, we're like, don't tell anyone about this. Here's some credits.
Yeah, and I figured that that we would have stayed around because in my mind the question was still open as to whether there were more of those things. So I definitely would have very carefully explored more of the mine. If I were allowed in by what's her name? Sonia.
Sonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll actually go with you, bringing along her own cutter.
Yeah.
For those patrols. And
but it sounds like we're not finding anything.
not much.
Okay.
Although she does point out that Giovanni has not left his ship in a while, but
yeah, right.
Either way.
Okay. So Giovanni was in his ship rather than in the just disappeared.
Yeah, they just hadn't heard a report from him. You guys didn't ask about Giovanni. So
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess my character kind of assumed that he had gone into the mine as well as Mike.
She didn't clarify it because they didn't really care for because in the note, and this is kind of where I'll just kind of close out the story right now.
Yeah.
Because that's literally the end of the one shot.
Yeah. And he is kind of a jerk too, so it makes sense that these guys will keep him sort of on the outside socially.
So, question: How was the small little one shot?
That was super fun.
Yeah, I like that.
It was cool.
I like the it did, you know, the tunnel and the kind of atmosphere was dark and it was cool. And the combat seems really deadly. Like I had 60 seconds to breathe, right?
yeah.
So it seems really deadly.
If you're in these like vacuum, like anything can rip your suit. So and this Demogorgon went down in 2 hits because we have pretty good weapons, right? So
you also got really good rolls.
Yeah, that's true.
You got a critical.
Yeah. I think. Didn't we both get criticals?
I almost did.
We both did.
That roll.
Yeah. 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 No, it's good. I like that.
I liked it. I mean, I noticed, like, for me, it's hard to it's hard to start something new. Like it always takes me a while to really get into the feeling of it and stuff.
Yeah.
So like at first, I'm just kind of like, and even if I haven't played like a game in a really long time, it's always like a little bit like I'm not engaged right away. So it takes a little bit of time, but like, by the time we went down into the mine and everything, that it was pretty good. I mean, I didn't really get a handle on the personality of my. I guess that's normal. Right?
Yeah, new character, right?
Well, it's also the fact that this game is kind of a little bit of a one-shot sort of thing. That's kind of the whole point of the thing. So if we were to actually run this again, I would definitely do it. I might try and run this a few more times with different groups. Maybe do the same adventure, maybe do a different adventure, just to get a better feel of it. Because this was kind of my first foray into it, and it's really weird because the rule book is like it's really neat, a lot of the rules, but it's a 0E playtest. And it's very much like if you've ever played original Dungeons and Dragons, it's very interpretational in the rules, where it's like, it'll leave something blank, like it says, oh, this is a critical success, but then it won't tell you what that critical success means in the general scheme of things. Or if it says you have if you have untrained skills, like with your firearms, it just says, oh, this might affect you. This might affect your ability to shoot something,
Right.
Yeah.
and you might get a disadvantage in certain situations. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And it has a lot.
You kind of have to just interpret it. Yeah.
It's
Yes.
a weird. It's a cool little system for something as simple as like, oh, just throw something together and go. But at the same time, I want to also compare it to something like Classic Traveler, which is supposedly a simple system ish because it's only 2d6.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But comparing it to like Cepheus Quantum and comparing it between here, you can definitely tell the difference because it's like Cepheus is like you aim above an 8. Same with Traveler. You
Mm.
aim above an 8, you're done. So
Yeah, and if we were using deluxe, I know there would be a lot more to combat. There would be like more, modifiers and stuff like that. But but yeah, for sure. For I think Mothership is trying to keep it simple as well as Cepheus Quantum. So they're both trying to do the same thing with a different feel.
Mhm.
And
You ever find out what happened?
from different writers too, so it's obviously going to be different.
Right. Did we ever find out what happened to James?
No, he didn't
Nope.
show up. I guess he might have gone to bed or something.
Okay, because it seemed like earlier today he was planning to show up.
Yeah, that's right.
How was like I'm further from the mic than usual. How's Alexia and my audio here?
Well,
It's just fine.
I could tell that you were further away, but you're audible and everything, so that's fine.
Okay, cool.
That's good.
Yeah, because this might happen again.
Cool. Cool, nice. All right, so I guess that's it then, eh?
Yep, that's pretty much.
Cool. All right, so where are we going to be doing Castaways next week then? That's what I'd like to
Could
do.
be.
Guess so.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, the Mouser, I know Mouser. I don't know Sam.
Yeah, that's right. When you said your name, Sam Strigus.
By the way, I never said this in the game, but Sam was supposed to be female.
Oh, right, okay. When you said Sam Strigus, I immediately thought Sturge. Like that was my first reaction. So my picture of this person was like a weird rat-like person, like some skinny kind of leech of a person. But then like they're not like that. No, I don't know what that is.
Strigus is a bird. Well, it's actually it's like some mythological, like it's some like a witch / bird. Like I don't know if it's supposed to be like but I actually was sort of inspired by the man from the Project Strigus Affair.
Right,
which is
okay.
the one that stars both William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy before they joined Star Trek.
I don't
it's
know.
Like one of the,
I don't know how to spell that? I'm trying to look it up, but I don't think I know how to spell it.
It's Strigas, or it could be Y.
Rigas?
Yeah.
You get it. IT. Get it.
Because I'm looking it up on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Or maybe it could actually just be Striga or something like that. Like
there was
was
something, yeah. I got something from The Witcher, which does not look like a bird thing at all.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I saw something about it being used. It definitely has something to do with like a bird-like thing, but
right. There's something labeled Romanian witch strigus, which looks like kind of like a swamp witch
Oh.
or something.
A swamp witch? That
Yeah.
sounds like a horrible sandwich.
I mean, I'd try it still though.
I would not. That
It's-
would be disgusting.
It's probably got some like kelp in it. It's gonna have some like tough
It's gonna
swamp
have, like,
plants in it.
peat.
It's gonna have
gonna have,
definitely
like,
yeah,
peat
definitely some
moss.
peat in it. There's gonna be probably some sediment because it's probably made in the swamp.
It's gonna be grody.
Yeah. I'd still try it.
You would.
All right. So we'll join back up next week for Cepheus, for Castaways. I love that song.
It's every time I see the word or someone says the word, I'm castaway. It's too much.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you so much, Smiles. That was really
Yeah,
fun.
that was really cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
thanks for
It was
GMing.
fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was fun.
All right, I'm gonna log off. I'll talk to you guys
All right.
later.
No.
Have a good night.
No.